When you're digging holes in New Hampshire, you just can't give up. You got to bust out the big guns. Big old, beefy, steel, iron pry bars. This hole is definitely deep enough. Oh yeah. This one? Yep. Let's make sure we're even-ish. Oh yeah, there's that rock. Well, that one's not going to move. That's a giant boulder. Yeah, that goes way in there. That's fine. Dig them big enough. We dig these holes big enough so that we can fit a plenty big log down it. What I'll probably do, there's a rock just on the inside part of this curve in the hole. I'll just skin the post a little bit so that I can sneak right around it, because the corner is not where the rock is. So I think we're in pretty good shape. That's the nice part about doing a little log structure. You don't really have to be super crazy tight on tolerances with the framing. I have a tendency to want to do everything as finished carpentry. With a little farm, no, don't go in the hole. With a little farm, doing things like chicken coops and stuff, you know, yes. Is it nice for it to look nice? Absolutely. But gotta be a function over form kind of person to not let stuff slow you down. So that's what we're aiming for here. Nice three-sided shelter so we can get the donkeys in here and they have a nice wind block. We got access to water and any other future animals too, so plus Big Red. Okay, I think we're in pretty good shape here. I'm going to end up cutting it again, obviously, but this will make it a little easier. Obviously, these aren't leveled yet, but we got them in the ground and burned. So now we got to get the back two main ones in, and these will get braced. I'm going to run a beam across the two of them, and then I'll 45 angle brace them with a couple other little support logs. So I think we should be good. Now we're gonna go cut the back post. Just a little under 9 feet to start. If I do that math right, the holes are over 2 feet deep. I want the backs between 6 to 6.5 feet. So there's a little bit of rake, but not a ton of rake for the pitch with the snow load and all that stuff. No big deal. I'm going to put a metal roof on it. It's all going to come off anyway. One back, two back. I gotta burn the butt on that one though. Tape measure down the hole. So before I burn it, I'm gonna remove that part. Now, just for those of you that are wondering, that is only 9 inches into the hole, and I made that hole really deep. So we're over 2.5 feet deep there, and the post is still going to have a ton of integrity because I only used that bottom part to notch out around the boulder that's down there. And the only reason why I needed to do that is because if I move the log too far over, it's going to be at a weird angle on the side, and I really want to get those posts lined up by eye because I'm already working with round things, so it'll just make all the future stuff easier. I'm gonna go get the torch. How we looking? Can't tell from that angle because I got this camera tilted. Now we're gonna do a little rough check with the tape measure. Check our diagonal. Pretty damn spot on. Shooting for like 15 feet 7 inches on the hypotenuse of the triangle. Yeah, it's pretty bang on. Now let's check this dimension. Okay, 10 feet. Should be pretty darn spot on. I mean, half an inch off. That's crazy. So each one of these bags needs roughly 0.6 gallons of water. 2 bags, 2 bags, 2 bags, bag and a half. So I got just over 4 gallons of water, did the math. It doesn't really matter with concrete. This stuff sets up quickly. We're gonna pour water, get it worked in there with the landscape bar. I'm just gonna go around again and just do one little final level. I leveled all these with rocks, kind of strategically holding them rather than putting up braces. And I figure it'll be easier to get the posts set so they're pretty strong. So that way I can put a ladder up against it. I can cut them at their final height. I can set up the notches for the cross members. Anyway, it's about to rain potentially this afternoon. So these set up in about 40 minutes, which is amazing. That's why I went with the quick stuff. You know, for a project like this, no big deal. I don't need a bunch of time to work it and smooth it. I don't care, I just need them to hold. That's it. Let's just roughly pour the amount of water that's needed and we'll work them in. They're looking pretty damn good, honestly. I'm kind of surprised. It's a little funky working with odd shapes, but they were all decently straight. And honestly, with these types of projects, it's almost more important to use your eyes, especially when you're dealing with curved logs. As long as they're in line, building's gonna be square, your measurements all line up, which they did after I drilled the holes, or I dug the holes rather. You know, putting the logs in should be the easy part. We'll see. Hopefully this stuff sets up quick and it's strong, and at the end of the day, it's overkill. I could have just built this on little pads. It's all gonna get tied together, so it's gonna be very strong. The damn biting midges are out. They're both pretty close. Look at that one. Are you gonna help? The camera ran out of battery and it actually ran out of storage, so onto a different camera. Smashed my thumb pretty good. I think we're good though. It's something bounce and kind of smash it backwards. I got the jig set up in the back here. So that's now all perfectly level. I've cut one side. Now we're gonna cut the other side flush. I think just to keep things simple, I'm just gonna drop this right on top of the back posts, and it's all gonna get tied together from front to back with cross members going this way. And it's gonna have, you know, purlins or rafters, whatever you wanna call them, running from the front to the back, connecting it. And it's gonna get connected with 45s in the back also. And I'm gonna be putting a third post in the middle back there anyway. So I might as well just get it up there. you know, at least cut that post. The back post I could probably just get away with not, I'll just put it on a little pad rather than digging a whole hole. It's really not to do anything other than give another spot to, you know, use half-length boards. So I'm not just using all the, you know, really long stuff all the way around. It'll just minimize the amount of lumber that I have to get. So that's what we're gonna do. And to keep it even, I'm going to use the thick side on this back right and the thin side over here, because on the front I did it the other way. Symmetry. Now this one looks like it's a little shorter, so I might not be cutting anything off of this. I'm just going to get a quick measurement. Yeah, see, that one's 14 feet. I don't need to have as big an overhang in the front as at the end of this. I'll end up cutting some of it off probably. So I'll just get that one as centered up as I can. And by eye, it looks like I got to move it that way a couple inches. Difference of 5.5. I got to move it 2 3/4 inches. Quarter inch. 8 3/4. That's pretty bang on. All right, I got to find another stand here because I need this ladder. I'm going to put the 12-inch headlock screws down in to hold this for now, and then I'm going to end up using timber spikes. You know, I'll get my mini sledge out and smash in some big timber spikes just for good measure. I want to get a screw in at least one of those sides here before I take that headboard off, so I'll be right back. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Now we're probably going to chase some, you know, weirdness with like leveling off some of that when we do the rafters. But well, that's not good. I just knocked everything over. So, you know, I might have to get the chainsaw and knock a couple of little nubs down, but that's no big deal. So we'll get this this back board off of here. And yeah, it's not raining real hard right now, so we might keep working. Thank you, ladder, for holding up that end. Classic. All right, well, we got a front and we got a back. I think it looks pretty good. Mini sledge, we're going to use some big old timber spikes, 12-inch timber spikes. We're going to just put one in each one for right now, get them extra stabilized, plus there's already the structural lag screw. So let's get some of these in. Galvanized. That's strong as shit. It's a little awkward with the ladder angle. When you're smashing metal on metal, wear your safety glasses. Or in my case, ballistic Oakleys. Oh. Yeah, I love these glasses. You could probably swap the lenses for some clear ones. I know I can. I just don't have any of the other lenses, but these are awesome. I'm gonna move this setup back. We're gonna get the top spikes in. Bada boom, bada bang.